Hello everybody, good evening, here we are again, Wednesday night, 9 p.m, well it is here anyway. Thank you for joining me. As you know, I'm doing these weekly, 9 p.m on a Wednesday, just while all this is going on, just to give us a bit of extra social interaction. So thank you for joining me. We can have a chat, we can play some stuff to a very poor quality, answer some questions, and yeah, I'll be on for the next hour anyway. So thank you very much. I've already had some questions through, which is amazing. I just wanted to say, I got a few comments last week saying that the live chat wasn't available for people who were watching afterwards, so I think that was something that I did that I didn't mean to do, so hopefully it'll be alright this week. I'll try not to do the thing that I accidentally did. So yes, anyway, off we go. Blimey, we've got some stuff coming through already. You lot are keen tonight, thank you. So we've already had a few things come through which I've answered, so I won't go over those again, but I was very pleased to see a message come through from my Uncle Richard. Hello Uncle Richard. First question has come in. 25 years come November, is it time for an updated anthology series? More information and footage now available, such as the Star Club tapes, etc. Well, one thing that I hadn't considered, we've talked about this previous week, but one thing I hadn't thought about is that it is the 25th anniversary this year, so I don't know if that'll make any difference. So we'd sort of mentioned about, is it going to appear on Netflix or Disney or something like that? They'd have to at least update the titles because it all looks a bit old-fashioned now. But I wonder if once Let It Be's had its, or the Beatles Get Back, once that's had its initial sort of burst on streaming, will they bring the anthology in as well to try and capitalise? So that'll be interesting to see. Is more information and footage now available? I'm not sure, but there can't be any less. I guess everything that was available then will be available now. But the Star Club tapes, that would be interesting. I don't know, they don't seem to want to publicise that too much, or the Decca auditions. When I don't think we're going to get those full releases of that, but you never know, it'd be great. Let's see if I'm missing anything. I usually have like an opening question, don't I? Which I'm going to do. Like an opening thing. My opening thing's a bit different this week. It's not Beatles related. It is, who's your favourite out of these two people? Put Bowie or put Dylan? Just interested to see, just a bit of a different angle on things. Let's see what we get through. Anyway, let's have a look. We've got a few hellos. Hello everybody who's saying hello. We're keeping well. Yes, we are keeping well, thank you. Here we're all well at this end. I hope you all are too. It's getting pretty nasty, isn't it? This last week's not been very good at all. Yeah, so but we're doing okay here. Oh, hi Rami, you made it. You were going to set an alarm, weren't you? Thank you for that. Hi Matt, love the t-shirt. Thank you. Do you want my t-shirts? My Let It Be, I Dig a Pygmy, Charles Hawtrey and the Deaf Aids. For anybody who doesn't know, maybe if you're not British, or if you're really young, you might not know Charles Hawtrey. That's Charles Hawtrey there. Classic British film star. Yeah. Lots of people doing online concerts at the moment. What songs would you like to see Paul perform if he chooses to do one? I'd like to see him concentrate on newer stuff, because that's stuff that's probably written for the voice that he's got now. You know, I don't want to see him sat there trying to scream out Long Tall Sally or something like that. But I'd love to see him do some stuff off Egypt Station, maybe, or something like Early Days. Has he ever done Early Days from new live? I don't know. That'd be a good one to see. I'm going to put this down anyway. I've got a couple of things planned on that as usual. One of which I'm going to be very, very embarrassed about, but it's topical. And the other's like a normal choice that you've got. Do you want this or do you want that? So yeah, I'd like to see Paul do some newer stuff. Can you play In Spite of All the Danger? I can't, Anthony, no, but shall I learn it? Let me know if you want me to learn that, and I'll try and do it next week. But one of the great things with In Spite of All the Danger is the harmonies, isn't it? And I can't harmonise with myself. It's not possible. But yeah, I can give that a go. Hey P, how are you doing? You alright? It'd be good if Paul sang a John song in the forthcoming online concert. Yeah, I've only heard little things about this online concert. Is everybody aware of this, that's happening? I think, was it Billie Eilish and Chris Martin and a few others, and Paul's one of them, has said they're going to do this online concert. I don't really know much detail about it at the moment. Oh, Bowie's winning, flipping heck. Bowie, says my Auntie Carol. Hi Auntie Carol. Last week you addressed an issue with George and Mark Lewison, but I missed part of the explanation. Can you quickly recap that? Well, I got the impression that some people last week thought differently to my opinion on what this is all about. So I don't know, this is just from what I've read, what I've heard, and I've heard Mark Lewison talk about it, so I think it's the case. But my understanding is when Mark Lewison, back in the days when he was part of this sort of inner circle of trusted people within the Beatles, that he was in Abbey Road Studios doing whatever he was doing. I don't know whether he was listening to some master tapes or whatever, but he brought somebody in with him, and George didn't like that. George Harrison, this is not George Martin, and didn't like the fact that Mark had brought somebody into the studio with him, and there was a fallout occurred because of that. That is my understanding anyway. If anybody knows different, then please let me know. But that's what I understand it to be anyway. We've got a John Heaton, the great John Heaton, internet YouTube sensation John. Hello John, good to see you here. Says Dylan. I've seen a few of your Dylan reviews, John. Oh, excellent as always. Bowie, Dylan. Paul's doing an online concert. Yeah, we just mentioned about that. Have I ever been to Hamburg? Says my Auntie Carol. No, I haven't, but I'd like to. Another place I haven't been is the Casbah. If you're ever going to the Casbah and you've got room in your car, and then I'd love to go with you to the Casbah. But no, I've not been to Hamburg. Is there a lot of Beatley things to do? Is there a lot of stuff still to see? I don't really know. I've never really looked into it. Been to Germany a few times, but never to Hamburg. Dylan says Scally. Right, well, I think Bowie probably won that anyway. I've got a few quiz questions as well, like I did last week. I'm going to fire the odd question at you as we go through. And I've also got a passage from a book I'd like to read. There's a book I keep going on about, this Man on the Run, McCartney in the 70s. I keep talking about that. There's a really good couple of pages. I hope you don't mind. Indulge me while I just read you a couple of pages from this book. It's just really, really well written and sort of heart-wrenching couple of pages. I'm going to do that in a bit as well. Will be interesting as it will be. Paul live from his home. Is that what it is? Is he going to be live from home? I don't know, without his band. So that would be great. It'd be interesting. Love to see it. I also saw today Radiohead have announced they're going to be doing a series of these, so I'm definitely up for seeing that. Dylan, without which there would be no Bowie. Yeah, that's a fair comment. Rain Blaze. Pieces David Bowie. Right, I think Bowie's won that. Have I heard anything more about an Epstein film adapted from the illustrated books? No, I heard something a while ago that I don't know whether it was in production or whether they were casting or whatever. I heard that they were casting for a Bowie film as well, actually, while we're on that subject, similar to the sort of Freddie Mercury, Elton John ones. I heard that they were casting a Bowie one. But no, I've not heard anything more about this Epstein film. And I guess we won't for a while, because I'm guessing all film production's stopped at the moment. The chords for In Spite of All the Danger. Are you trying to put me on the spot here, Anthony? B7, E8, E7. Is it in that order? You are really, really putting me on the spot here. In spite of all the danger that you made me feel, I'd do anything for you, anything you want me to, if you can do to me. No, I can't. No, I need to work on that a bit more. That's not going to work. Penny Fields from Dallas. Wow, hello from Dallas, Texas. You heard the Macca soundcheck last June. Oh, I think you told me this before, didn't you, Penny Fields? I think you did. Thank you. What archive have I listened the most to? Oh, there's a question. Let's have a think. Which have I listened the most to out of these? I would say probably. I'm probably going to go McCartney 2. Just because there was some wondrous extras on that. Yeah, probably McCartney 2, I think. Good question. Oh, where am I? If I miss any out, I apologise. I'm trying to keep up. Yes, get to the Casbah. I do need to do that. Rogue Best. I did meet Rogue Best last year at the Beatles Museum, the Magical Museum on Matthew Street. But yeah, I think he runs both places, doesn't he? You've got Pete's autograph, brilliant. Yeah, Bowie film could be interesting, that P. I'd certainly go and see that. Any outtakes or demos of the Bowie and John sessions? Yeah, well, I guess they'd probably be more under Bowie's control than John's, would they? Because it was... Or would they? I'm not sure, I'm guessing that, but yeah, that'd be interesting. Hi, Conga Man. Conga Man, is that right? Is that how you say it? Thank you very much. What do I know about a possible Archive Deluxe release of London Town and or Back to the Egg? Okay, so this is what I have heard. This is all going to have changed because of what's going on at the moment, but we know Flaming Pie was due to be July, and it's I'm sure it's got to get delayed now. I'd heard that Back to the Egg and London Town were originally planned potentially for this December before all the nonsense started. My understanding, again, this is all just sort of what I've read, that the hold-up has largely been around some sort of legal issue. I don't know what the legal issue is, but I wondered whether an obvious kind of extra with this would be the rockestra stuff, maybe the concert for Campuchia, and maybe it was some sort of rights thing there. Is it, you know, did somebody not want to issue who was on it? I don't know. But so it was potentially going to be December, so I'd heard. So some business, some industry insider had leaked this, but who knows what's going to happen now. But that's what I've heard. Hi Niels from Denmark, how you doing? Bowie, yeah. I would think the new Let It Be film and archive will be delayed. Yeah, almost certainly. I think unless if we are just sort of coming out of it by September the 4th, isn't it? It was due. Then maybe people would love to get out and go and see a film. So I don't know. They might maybe make that decision as late as possible. Don't know. They've got a dilemma though, haven't they? Because if they're going to delay it, they've got to announce that they're delaying it. Whereas Paul with the Flaming Pie archive, he doesn't have to announce anything because he'd never actually said it was coming out in July. So he's sort of off the hook a little bit. What was the problem with Alan Klein? Ooh, blimey. How long have we got to talk about Alan Klein? He was just, well, he was sort of... People will know more about this than me, and there's a lot of stuff out there by more knowledgeable people, but he was in it for himself, wasn't he? I think Paul was most concerned that they were going to get ripped off by him. He was wanting to take too high a percentage, and I think eventually the court case, Paul said after the court cases that he thought he'd been proved right. But very interesting t-shirt, thank you. Yeah, the t-shirt has been mentioned. I've worn this on some of my videos before. It's not the first outing for this. Have the archive sets got more expensive over time? Yes. Why do you think that is? Well, because you can, basically. You know, you charge these early ones, like that one, McCartney 2 Band on the Run, they were only sort of about 40 odd pounds or something like that when they first came out, and now you're talking about 150 pounds for one. I think it keeps nudging the price up and seeing what people are prepared to pay. And the more people are prepared to pay, he's obviously got to put more content in, but then the more he's going to charge. So it's sort of economics, really, isn't it? Hi James, you alright? He was a thief. I presume you mean Alan Klein there. I don't think we've been talking about anybody else who could be a thief, have we? No. Yeah. Self-enrichment, yeah, in it for himself, definitely. Ginger Flash. Hi Ben, you alright? How are you doing? Joined a bit late. Bowie looks popular tonight. Yes, you'd be happy about that. Ginger Flash is a massive Bowie fan. Oh, he's got some lovely Bowie box sets. Jagger also said he was a thief, yeah. Will take place next year. I don't know. I don't know, basically. I mean, will he do Glastonbury next year? I don't know. Will he just do what was planned for next year? Will he try and slot some extra ones in that have been cancelled from this year? Who knows? Another unknown. You asked me a question like the Monkees, but the stream ended. You did, and I said I was going to talk about that a bit more, didn't I? I'll tell you what I'll do, Joseph. I'm just going to fire up iTunes, because I don't have the mental capacity to process answers like that while I'm doing this. So I'm going to get a little help from iTunes. I'm going to fire up the Monkees and look at... I'm just going to reel off what are my favourite Monkees songs for you. There you go. So it's just loading up at the moment. Where are we? Conga Man in the house. Lovely graphic there. Oh, that's from Mike. Sorry, yeah. Oh, hi, Lucien. Welcome back. What do you think of the Moody Blues? I don't have massive opinion, to be honest. I mean, I thought Go Now was a great song when that was Moody Blues, wasn't it? I'm going to sound like a right idiot if I've got that wrong. But yeah, that was Moody Blues, wasn't it? Denny Lane originally, early on. It's a horrible production on Go Now, though, isn't it? It just sounds like it's so badly recorded, unless it's just the versions that I've heard. But other than that, I've never really listened to them a massive amount, so I can't really comment. I'm trying to fire up the Monkees on iTunes so that I can talk about them for a second. My favourite Monkees songs. We're nearly there with that. Give us a Bowie tune on your guitar. No, I used to be able to do. There was a band I was in a few years ago and we did Starman and I played guitar on that, but I've completely forgotten it. I don't know any Bowie, I don't think, on guitar. Anyway, all right, iTunes. Here's my... Shall I tell you what? I'm going to move my camera around here and I'm going to show you. This is my iTunes library here, and you can see this is my sort of top rated songs here. I don't know if can you see that? I'll know in a second once the stream catches up whether you can see it. But Last Train to Clarksville, I don't know whether you can see that, to be honest. No, I don't think you can. I don't think that's working. A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You. I bought a Monkees set a few years ago. It was like the first 5 albums or something. And I learnt loads of songs that I didn't really know, sort of other than the normal hits. So the ones that I picked up from that were You Just May Be the One, Shades of Grey. I love Shades of Grey. I bet there's a lot of people who hate that song, but I love it. Zilch, Mr. Dobalina, Mr. Bob Dobalina. I like that one. What Am I Doing Hanging Round, Pleasant Valley Sunday, Tapioca Tundra. They're my favourite Monkees songs. There you go. Where are we? Klein's company does he still own all the Stone songs? Last Train to Clarksville is an absolute classic piece. I'd love to be able to play that opening riff, and I sort of know what to play, but I just can't get moving in the right direction. Oh, hey John, there's an ongoing debate on whether John and George met in September 80 in LA for a Monty Python concert. Interesting. So I read something recently, I can't remember where I read it, that said that John and George hadn't met since about 1974, so I've not heard that. I'd certainly like to hear more about it. Could that be a video you might do, John? I don't know, but I'd certainly be watching that if you did it. Invisible Ray, hello Invisible Ray. Invisible Ray makes some very interesting videos if anybody wants to check them out. What's it all about, Alfie? Hey, we're the Monkees, hello. Have I seen the video where Paul and Neil sing Only Love Can Break Your Heart? Huh? Neil what? Neil Young, is that? Is that Neil Young? I don't think I have seen it. Anyway, whichever it is. Mike Nesmith from the Monkees' mum invented liquid paper. She did, yes. I remember. That was one of those amazing trivia facts as a kid. I remember. Yeah, Go Now. Was the whole album badly recorded? Yeah, I mean that's one of the things with the Beatles. And you listen to the Beatles music, it's like some of it's nearly 60 years old, and it just sounds fantastic. We're really lucky that music was recorded by George Martin and his engineers, Jeff Emerick and all the other guys. It's just sound really good compared to a lot of stuff from that period. Yeah, Go Now quality. It's not just my copy then, it's probably everybody's then. Do I have any Mark Bolan T-Rex? All I've got is a compilation. Have I got it handy? I don't know if I've got it handy. No, it's somewhere in there. Oh no, it's somewhere in there. My favourite T-Rex song is Cosmic Dancer. That's an amazing song. I love that. Daydream Believer, yeah, it's a great song. Was that Neil Diamond wrote that? Was it Neil Diamond? I think it was, wasn't it? He wrote a few of theirs. Shades of Grey, Rami, yeah, it's a beautiful song, that. Really cheesy, but lovely song. Yeah, Mike Nesmith's Mum Tipex, yeah, we were mentioning about that classic. It's a classic rock trivia fact, that, isn't it? I've got, right, okay, I'm gonna, that's reminded me. I'm gonna hit you with a rock trivia. Well, see if you can guess it anyway, see if anybody knows the answer to this. According to legend anyway, who was the first American to know of Stalin's death? There you go. There's a question for you. See if anybody's heard that same bit of trivia that I've heard. I think it's true, as far as I know it's true. Opinions on I Would Only Smile. Should it have been on Red Rose Speedway? It's a nice song. That was a Denny Lane song, wasn't it? It's a nice song, but I don't think it's better than anything that's on Red Rose Speedway. So I'm happy enough for it not to be on there. But it's good that we've had that song in the last couple of years to listen to. Do I think Pleasant Valley Sunday and Annie Your Bird Can Sing guitar ideas are similar? Oh, that's interesting. I can't play it. I would have played it, and I could have just hit play on iTunes, but I'll get a copyright strike if I do that. I actually got copyright warning last week for my guitar playing, which I was surprised about. It managed to recognise the melody, and I got an email saying that it was I got a copyright notice for it. Pleasant Valley Sunday. And then your bird. I'm gonna have a listen to them afterwards and try and figure that one out. Yeah. James, London Town and Back to the Egg. If I presume you missed early on, if you want to go back and watch the start earlier on, we talked about what was planned, and yeah, for that. I mentioned I was at Nebworth. How far back were you? I was back in 1996. That's not what you meant, is it? No, at Nebworth. So yes, Nebworth in 1996. Oasis is like just about the biggest concerts that have ever happened in this country. Something like 3% of the entire population of Britain applied for tickets for that. But they had so it's the only concert I've ever been to where I've been in the queue at 7 in the morning, and they had they let 10,000 people into this sort of semicircle. I think it was to avoid a massive crush. They let 10,000 people into there, and I just missed out on getting into there. So I was, if you look at any overhead shots of Oasis at Nebworth, on the Sunday I was there, the second of the 2 days, you'll see this sort of circle that's got a load of people in it, and I'm just sort of, if you're looking down on the stage, I'm just sort of to the right of it and just a bit further back than that. Amazing concert. Opinions on London Town. I'm Carrying is probably, well, it's up there in my top sort of 2 or 3 favourite songs on London Town. So yeah, I'm Carrying is a great. I love With a Little Luck, the album version. I love Morse Moose and the Grey Goose, but I'm Carrying is an absolutely beautiful song, definitely. Hi Rob, you alright there? Cosmic Dancer is from Electric Warrior. So thanks P. I don't know his studio albums, like I say, I've only got this compilation. So, oh god, I'm trying to keep up with everybody here. How are we doing for time? Oh, we've got loads of time, don't you worry about that. On Spotify there's a beautiful version, strings only, from Something. Love demos that's stripped down. Is there? Is that not from, so it's from Love and not from the, because I know they released a strings only version of Something when the Abbey Road box came out last year, didn't they? So is it not from that, but you're saying it's from Love? Interesting. I'll have to have a listen to that. Have I seen Ringo and his All-Star Band? I haven't, no, but my uncle who's on here and has been commenting, he definitely has. I'm sure he has anyway, he must have done, but no, I haven't. Probably not something I'm going to get a chance to do, I don't think. What's your favourite anthology album? Mine is Anthology 1. I would say mine is Anthology 1 as well. I don't know if you saw, Anthony, I did a top moments from the anthology series video about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and a lot of it was centred around the Decca audition and those early songs. So yeah, I would say Anthology 1 is probably my favourite. Anthology 2 is the one I was most excited for when it came out, because of, you know, just the fact that we're going to get all this Sgt. Pepper stuff and Revolver and Magical Mystery Tour. That was the most exciting one in terms of looking forward to it. But yeah, Anthology 1. Paul Unplugged in